Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.
Digital technologies are continuously disrupting the way businesses in India and across the world manage their processes and sustain a strategic competitive advantage. Hewlett-Packard Enterprise held the Digital Enterprise Forum 2016 in the city of Mumbai that set the platform for discussions on digital transformation initiatives and how present businesses were working towards becoming strong digital enterprises. The head of marketing of the enterprise group, Shri Hari Gopinath, set the context from India's perspective on why digital transformation is an important journey for businesses.
Our growth story has been the growth of mobile phones in this country. But that's a story that has been going on for the last 10 years. The rollout of the 3G and now the 4G networks is enabling more Indians to be online and get the benefit of internet. By 2018, it is anticipated that there will be 369 million mobile smartphone users in this country. And with that, you can only expect the mobile internet usage to go up. They are using mobiles, they are using the smartphones, they're using it for communication. We know that, right? Is there another story here? So this is a listing of the top 25 websites in the month of June. What's interesting is 9 of the 25 web destinations are shopping or banking destinations. The number of mobile transactions has grown exponentially. As on December 2015, there were 4 crore transactions valued at approximately 49,000 crores a year back in December 2014. The number of transactions were about 1.65 crores and the value was 11,000 crores in rupees. People are getting more comfortable using their apps, using their mobile phones to transact, to buy things. So there is a huge opportunity waiting to be tapped. So to meet this demand from this growing set of online shoppers, the number of sellers are just not enough. What are the barriers to overcome? Back-end operations, delays in settlement. Think of billing, order management, supply chain, payment systems, think of wallets. Do we have all of that in place to participate in this growth story? Internet of Things is an emerging technology which is now past the peak of disillusionment. But with new technology comes new kinds of risks. Security is going to be important here. Just by IoT alone, it is expected that a black market exceeding $5 billion will be created globally. Are you thinking about securing your data, your applications, your businesses?
The MD of HPE India set the tone for the day's discussions on issues of digital transformation and disruption.
When I was putting down my keynote, the first thing I thought about, should I say thriving in an age of digital disruption, or should I say thriving in an age of digital transformation? And I settled for disruption because it has that power to tell you how big this disruption is. It is changing the way we work, the way enterprises can work, and what they're going to do next. Perhaps they are going to transform the existing enterprises in a very big way. If I am in manufacturing, or I'm in telecom, or in government, or in banking, some of these are very traditional industries. If we do not adopt digital transformation, we'll get disrupted. Digital disruption is everywhere. You know, at Hewlett-Packard Enterprise, we did a global survey. We spoke to 800 CIOs and customers across the globe. 600 plus, around 80% said they are looking at digital transformation to create value for their customers and create competitive advantage. Some industries, they're already way ahead of using digital to transform themselves. But there are a whole set of industries which have started their transformation. And I think government is taking a big step, especially in India, in that transformation, because the problem of government to citizen interface, and especially when we are 1.3 billion people, it's huge. And how can they do it seamlessly with the same look and feel is something which government is really thinking through. It's the manufacturing shop floor itself which is going to use industrial IoT and transform itself. We are already looking at those projects, and if we don't think about how we are going to transform our shop floor, how are we going to transform our supply chain using it, we will not be able to live up to the expectations which our companies have and our customers have without the digital transformation. What are the big buckets in which the transformation happens? The first one is in customer experiences. The second piece is in the products and services you offer to your customers. And the third is about operational efficiency. And clearly, if you don't do all three, the transformation is not going to happen. Believe me, the ecosystem which we need to create to do this transformation is huge.
A fireside conversation between Lux Rao, the Chief Technology Officer at HPE India, and the founder and CEO of Paytm, Vijay Shekhar Sharma, focused on the digital revolution in India and how digital disruption is putting India on the global map.
Is this actually the emergence of Bharat? In a way, on the Indian economic scenario?
Well, I think this is the emergence of Bharat as a customer. For the first time, technology companies are able to serve somebody who is beyond these metro cities. Because the smartphone that has got now in hands of millions and millions, and there are hundreds of million smartphone users, create first time a domestic market. For the first time, Bharat has become the customer for a tech company's product. I think this is the time for every one of us to really solve and build on India's problem and opportunities. This is not the time to replicate another photo filtering app. I truly believe that. This is time to build some foundations of technologies that will change the way this country lives.
Whether it is retail, whether it's music, entertainment, transportation, it is a big disruption which is happening. And whether you are an enterprise or whether you are a consumer or also as a citizen, you have to understand the impact of this digital transformation which is happening in the enterprises you represent.
A discussion moderated by Srihari Gopinath at the Digital Enterprise Forum 2016 took a look at how the Government of India was adapting to digital transformation and engaging with technology as an enabler to help initiate strategies that can boost Indian businesses.
The Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Mr. Devendra Fadnavis, has often referred to technology as being a key enabler. I want to ask you about, what are some of the key initiatives that you think are relevant for the citizens of Mumbai and Maharashtra?
I think government is essentially an enterprise. So the fundamental pillars essentially for any government are transparency, efficiency, and most important is inclusion. But having said that, I think government generally doesn't work on ROI. It works on PROI, which is basically public ROI. So while most of our decisions and plans and expansions and implementations come into significant public scrutiny, I think good governments have always focused on these three key pillars. The Honorable Chief Minister and also the Honorable Prime Minister have been on record on why technology is important, the kind of enablement that it can do for the plans of this nation, and the expectations from governments, from enterprises, from companies, and entire leadership, both political and administrative, is significant. The moment the new regime came into power, roughly about November of 2014, the Honorable Chief Minister had very clearly laid down his plans for digital empowerment. We call it the Digital Maharashtra program. The core focus of it rests on three important aspects. One obviously is connectivity. Key area of focus for the government essentially is to get the rural masses and the semi-urban masses in the mainstream, and that cannot happen unless connectivity is established. So one fundamental principle of this government, and you will see that through our plans and actions, and hopefully through an effective implementation regime, that connectivity is going to be a focus area. The second, obviously, that we would like to believe that digital literacy is again a very key aspect of our program. And the third and the last part of the vision that we are kind of very aggressively driving is that services, whether it is for corporates, whether it's for businesses, whether it's for citizens, need to be simple. So there is going to be a very single-minded core focus on providing those services. You will see that through our Aple Sarkar portal, which is basically in Marathi. It means your government. And we have been able to put 156 services online on that. So these are the three key aspects as far as the vision is concerned, and hopefully we are pretty confident that we'll be able to take them through.
Smart cities and digital India have really caught the fascination and the aspirations of several of us Indians. And Maharashtra has 10 smart cities that have been announced here. How do you see ICT enabling smart cities, and what would you like to see as an outcome from these initiatives?
Smart city is nothing but essentially a program to improve efficiency. It tells you to use your resources more carefully, and how do you use the resources carefully when you kind of integrate systems, when you have data. So smart city program is nothing but agglomeration of various initiatives, whether it's CCTV, whether it's Wi-Fi, whether it's solid waste management, whether it's metering, whether it's billing, whether it's consumer services, all integrated into a one concrete consolidated lot. And what it does for the government is that it gives government a great opportunity to see everything at a single dashboard and then plan the resources accordingly. We already have rolled out the tender for Nagpur. We yesterday had this opportunity to sign an MOU with HPE, and we are going to roll out 4 more cities, and we look forward to HPE's partnership. We are working with Microsoft on 28,000 villages. We have Oracle with us, who is kind of building a center of excellence for smart city management, and we need this kind of assistance to scale those systems as fast as possible.
Intel has been a long-standing partner for Hewlett-Packard Enterprise, and I know that Intel does have a lot to offer to governments. Can you comment on some of the key priorities that you are outlining to participate in this programs?
I must compliment the government to bringing all the digitization initiatives that are happening in the country under one umbrella called Digital India. Digitization is happening in pockets earlier. Now, the entire digitization opportunity has got a new meaning with Digital India, not just in India, but across the world. One often ignores that we are the second largest internet user base, right? And even in smartphones as well, third or second, right? That is an enormous opportunity. You mentioned about the government services, 157 services. I guess there are around 600 odd services that a citizen receives in India. So this internet user base is a massive opportunity for digitization of every service that a citizen in India consumes, especially in the rural areas. I think from our viewpoint, for that to happen, the connectivity to the rural is the number one priority that should be addressed. So Intel, of course, as a partner to the governments, has been, for last decade and a half. You mentioned about digital literacy, which is a common thread that we have trained millions of teachers earlier as part of Intel Teach program, and now we are working with a consortium of NGOs, etc., to address the digital literacy aspect. All the state governments, and Maharashtra especially, have done a tremendous job of building up that capacity called digitization of the services. Now, the next challenge is how do you consume that? The connectivity and the training are important, right? The people like HPE and Intel, everybody has to come together to work with the government to ensure that every citizen has access to digital services. All of this requires heavy investments into the cloud. All the services are going to be delivered through the cloud, and it's a massive opportunity to learn from the other countries and build up the capacities in India.
What are the couple of key areas that that Hewlett-Packard Enterprise is focusing on when we are working with governments?
Since the inception and since the time Hewlett-Packard came to India, we have been working very, very closely with government and state government. Disruption has started happening when our current Honorable Prime Minister took over the job, and he gave the vision that it's going to be digital nation, digital India, connected India. And that's a theme we started pushing all of us, like organization like Hewlett-Packard Enterprise, to start thinking differently that how we can contribute what our Honorable Prime Minister is saying. And then we started working with our own internal vision. While we had all the products and category and solution earlier also, but nobody thought that how those can be leveraged in an Indian context. When everybody talk about the future city or a smart city, we say what we are looking is a livable city. How as an individual citizen, when I'm living in a city, I can get the experience where I would like to love and stay in that city. So couple of area what we thought are very, very relevant, and we picked up 3 area. One is everybody talking about the smart city, and Prime Minister has said that we are going to have 100 smart city. Mumbai, Maharashtra government has decided to have 10 smart cities. So that's one certainly area where we are going a step further, and we are saying we will bring the IPs, we will bring the expertise, and we not only make those smart city a smart city, will make it a more livable city. Yesterday, I got a chance with Honorable Chief Minister. We signed a MOU where we are going to do 3 pilot projects in Maharashtra state to do the smart city initiatives. All the aspect of a smart city, whether you talk about waste management or traffic, smart parking, we are very actively involved in various state government, and we are working and we are trying to bring some solution which are very, very differentiated solution with some of our competitors.
Absolutely.
Demographically, I think we're getting to a point where in another 7 or 8 years, 50% of the population is going to be less than 25, and the buying patterns are completely different from how it is today. They go to the shop for a touch and feel, but I think the rest of it is done using mobile. So IoT is going to grow a big, big way.
At the Digital Enterprise Forum 2016, Dr. Tom Rudaish, the Vice President and General Manager Servers and IoT Systems at HPE, talked about the Internet of Things and how IoT systems can enable better visibility and efficiency for businesses.
The Internet of Things has achieved celebrity status today. Who doesn't have an Internet of Things idea or activity? But before the Internet of Things was called the Internet of Things, the collection of enormous amounts of data outside the data center, outside the cloud, has been going on. In the physical world, there's a lot of data to be extracted. And it isn't always wireless because it's just too big and too fast. So there's wired connectivity to sensors and to things. This big data coming from the world, in the physical world, puts new stresses on data center and clouds. So there's 3 gross categories of big data. These are gross categories. In order to move on here, the first one is what we all know if we're in IT. Oh yeah, that's big data. You know, enterprise research, customer management, HR, stock ticks, medical data, inventories, and process control. That's all traditional. I call that traditional. And it's big. And then we have this emerging data sources of social data, and this is exciting. Social data has become a business. Now let's talk about this world of the IoT. And this is things data, taking vibration and taking temperature and taking position, GPS location, taking acceleration, particulates, moisture, taking light and sound, and digitizing them is a big business in the operations technology world. And in the IT world, we can't do anything with it until it's A to D converted. And this is an exciting thing that we're learning more and more about. There are 3 types of insight you can extract from big analog data in the IoT: business, engineering, and scientific.
Kirti Melkote, the founder and CTO of Aruba, talked about how intelligent mobility can change the way a workforce functions towards better productivity.
Mobility is a very disruptive force that is going to change a bunch of different businesses, including yours. If you look at the broad IT landscape, there's 2 things that capture what's happening in the market right now. One is businesses and consumers are going mobile first, but also the data centers are changing, right? Data centers are going cloud first. What meets the cloud is the mobile, right? If you essentially in the future, pretty much every transaction that you're going to do, whatever the transaction happens to be, is going to be most likely done on a handheld device, on a smartphone. What we are entering right now is what we've phrased Gen Mobile. which is work is a part of life. It doesn't happen at a desk or at home. It happens all the time, no matter where you are, whether you're in a car, whether you're sitting right here in a meeting, or wherever you happen to be, you're transacting work, and work and life actually come together. And the way we design workplaces as a result of this demographic change is going to change as well. The other piece that is happening on the edge, in addition to the workforce and the workplace changing, is that the places we go to, the buildings and the workplace, are becoming smarter. This is the advent of IoT. Creating next generation high capacity infrastructures fundamentally depend on Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is what I call the first small cell technology, and enables you to offload your load that is happening on the cellular network. A lot of work happens indoors, and you're able to now, using your Wi-Fi network, create these next generation experiences with a very, very high fidelity indoor Wi-Fi infrastructure. You no longer need to build out this separate network, one for voice, one for data, spend a lot of money building out that infrastructure. You can collapse all of that into a single piece of infrastructure. But the imperative that you get is, how do you deliver high fidelity voice and video communications over wireless infrastructure? So enabling collaborative workplaces and collaboration technologies is going to be very, very critical. And it's going to converge on a mobile device. So you need to ensure that infrastructure that you build supports mobile unified communication.
I think the 4 technologies are going to become very critical. One is social media, mobility, analytics and cloud. And the 5th dimension which is going to come in is the Internet of Things. Rather, I would say Internet of Everything. So all these companies will have to have adoption technologies around these 4 or 5 pillars. The other dimension which is going to come in is the adoption towards robotics. So these are the 5 or 6 dimensions which are going to come in the digital transformation, and each and every company needs to get adapted to that.
It's through this digital transformation that we are reaching out to the masses of India. Because so far the connectivity was a big challenge for us. We could not roll out a lot of the facilities that some of us who enjoyed that in the city is now getting rolled out across India and the rural masses, and that's getting connected now. We are able to reach them through the fiber optics, which is there, it's laid, and which is reaching the entire country. On top of that, the last mile is happening through Wi-Fi. Right, the broadband connectivity is reaching homes in tier 2, tier 3, including tier 4 cities. So HP has played a very key role, whether it's building the data center for the service providers, managing branch networks, delivering compute at the data center and delivering content on those, and importantly, managing this whole ecosystem.
Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.